Hello, my friend. Are you impatient and want to see all the stories from Greenslight? Let me help you with that. Today I will show you all Arya Stark stories. I will divide it in 5 chapters. 1. I Am Not Lady. 2. Enemy List. 3. Escape from Harrenhal. 4. Path of Exile. And 5. No One. So, grab your popcorn and let's begin. Arya and her sister are practicing embroidery, but it doesn't bring her any joy. She heard noises outside and quickly ran out. Watching Bran practice shooting arrows, he missed the target several times. She took the bow and arrow and shot it, hitting the center of the target. Bran was angry and chased Arya, and everyone started laughing happily. Arya was tidying her clothes as the Septa had asked in a grumpy way. Snow walked in and said he wanted to give her a gift. After that, Snow took out a thin sword. Arya was really happy and named it Needle. Father Eddard went to King's Landing to serve as a hand of the king, and Arya went along. On the way, Prince Joffrey bullied Arya's friend, who was practicing sword fighting with her. Arya couldn't stand it, and she got into a fight with Joffrey. In the end, her direwolf Nymeria bit Joffrey. Arya discarded Joffrey's sword into the river before running away with Nymeria. To save Nymeria from being killed, Arya sadly chases her away. In King's Landing, Eddard came across Arya's needle, and he believed that young ladies shouldn't be playing with sword. Arya contended that she wasn't playing, and she had no interest in being a traditional lady. She desired to learn sword fighting. Ultimately, Eddard granted her permission to keep the sword. Furthermore, Edward also arranged for Arya to have a dancing mentor. Eddard was framed due to the issue of the throne's succession. To protect Arya and her sister, he faced the trial in public and confessed to betraying the king. Unexpectedly, Joffrey still ordered Eddard's execution, and his head was struck off. Arya witnessed all of this from a distance and wanted to save her father. Result was intercepted by the Night's Watchman Yoren. After intercepting Arya to prevent her from being recognized, Yoren cut off her hair. Yoren had Arya change her name to Ari and accompanied her to the north. On the journey to the north, Arya often struggled to sleep. Whenever she closed her eyes, she would be haunted by memories of what had happened before. Yoren told her his story. He used to recite the names of his enemies before sleeping until the day he killed one of them. One night, Lannister soldiers attacked Yoren's group, and he was killed. While escaping, Arya released 3 prisoners from Yoren's wagon. In the end, Arya was caught, and a Lannister soldier took her needle away. Arya and her group were taken to Harrenhal. Here, Lannister soldiers often used torture to interrogate the captured individuals. After seeing this, Arya found it even harder to fall asleep at night. She recalled Yoren's story and started reciting her kill list: Joffrey, Cersei, Island Payne, the Hound. The next day, when the Lannister soldier were about to use torture, Tywin Lannister, Duke of Casterly Rock, arrived at Harrenhal. Tywin thought it would be a waste to just kill these people and decided they should be put to work instead. He also noticed that Arya was a girl, so he asked her to be his attendant. Inside Harrenhal, Tywin and his group were talking about that was happening in the north. When he found out Arya was from north, he asked her what she thought about her older brother, Robb Stark. Arya replied, "They call him the young wolf. They say he rides into battlefield on a huge dire wolf. They tell stories of him transforming into a dire wolf whenever he wants, and they believe he can't be killed. With that, Arya smiled. While fetching water, she saw a person from the group she had helped earlier in Yoren's wagon. This man introduced himself as Jaqen H'ghar. Because Arya had saved him and 2 others, he offered to kill 3 people for Arya as token of gratitude. All she needed to do was to provide their names. Arya decided to have him kill one of the Lannister soldiers who had been torturing people earlier. No much later, Arya saw the soldier fall from a high place and meet his demise. Arya accidentally stumbled upon some confidential intelligence about Tywin. She managed to steal it. However, she was caught by Tywin's subordinate, Amory Lorch. He intended to report Arya to Tywin. In a hurry, Arya found Jaqen and asked him to kill Amory. In the end, Amory was found dead at Tywin's doorstep. Arya learned that Tywin planned to march and attack Robb Stark overnight. She wanted Jaqen to kill Tywin to help her older brother, but she couldn't find him and watched Tywin's troops leave the city. When Arya finally met Jaqen, she asked him to kill Tywin immediately. But Jaqen said he could 90 do it right away. So, Arya threatened to kill Jaqen himself and asked him to help her escape Harrenhal. Reluctantly, Jaqen agreed. He told Arya to meet his friend at the city gate at midnight. When midnight came, Arya went to the city gate and found all the guards there had been killed. That's how Arya and her group left Harrenhal. While on the way leaving Harrenhal, Arya met Jaqen again. Arya wanted Jaqen to teach her, but he said he could only do it in Braavos. Arya needed to find her family, so she couldn't go with him. In the end, Jaqen gave her a coin and told her that if she ever needed to find him, she just had to give the coin to any person in Braavos, and she should say to them, Valar Morghulis. On their way to the north, Arya's group encountered members of the Brotherhood without banners. Curious about their escape from Harrenhal, they asked Arya's group to join them on their journey to their hideout. The Hound, who had been captured by the Brotherhood without banners, identified Arya. As a result, the Brotherhood without banners members decided to take them all to their hideout. Arya, the Hound, and the rest were brought to the Brotherhood without banners hideout. There, they meet the leader of the Brotherhood without banners, Beric Dondarrion. Beric accused the Hound of murder and wanted to judge him. The Hound refused to admit it, so they decided on a trial by fighting. In the duel, the Hound killed Beric, which was unexpected. Yet, miraculously, Beric came back to life. Eventually, Beric chose to forgive the Hound. Beric intended to take Arya to Riverrun. However, they learned of a Lannister raiding party midway and decided to deal with it first. Arya was upset and fled from the Brotherhood without banners, but the Hound captured her. He brought Arya to Salt Pans, and his plan was to demand ransom from Arya's mother and brother. Disguised as traitors, they entered the town. Unexpectedly, they discovered soldiers from Winterfell being slaughtered. Arya's mother and brother were killed, and the head of Robb's direwolf was displayed on Robb's body during a disturbing procession. In a desperate act, the Hound knocked Arya unconscious and led her away from town. In a tavern, a few Lannister soldiers identified the hound, and the leader was the one who had taken Arya's needle before. After a few words, a fight broke out between the two groups. As Lannister soldiers outnumbered them, the hound started struggling. In a dire moment, Arya stepped in to help. In the end, they managed to kill all the soldiers and reclaimed her needle. Arya and Hound encountered Brienne. Once Brienne recognized Arya, she wanted to take her away, as she had promised Arya's mother to take her home. The Hound disagreed, and a fight broke out between him and Brienne. After a fierce struggle, Brienne managed to push the Hound off a cliff. Meanwhile, Arya hid, and after the fight, Brienne couldn't find her. Once Brienne left, Arya went to the edge of the cliff and found the Hound severely injured. The Hound pleaded for Arya to end his suffering, but she didn't do as he asked. Instead, she took his money and walked away. Arya handed the coin to Braavosi and said, "Valar Morghulis." The Braavosi took her to the House of Black and White. After facing some challenges, she finally found Jaqen. Arya expressed her desire to become a no-one to him. Jaqen said she wasn't prepared yet because she had too many of her things: Arya's sword, Arya's clothes, Arya's coin. A no-one shouldn't have so much of Arya's stuff. So, Arya got rid of her clothes and the coin. However, she didn't want to get rid of Needle. She found a place to hide the sword. While on her first assassination assignment, Arya saw one of her enemies on the kill list. So, she changed her target and killed that person. Upon her return to the House of Black and White, Jaqen punished Arya for breaking the rules by rendering her blind and leaving her on the streets to beg. While Arya begged on the streets, her senior sister apprentice, known as the Waif, forced Arya to fight her every day. Finally, Arya earned recognition from Jaqen, and Jaqen allowed her to come back to the House of Black and White. Jaqen continued training Arya in the House of Black and White. Her efforts gained more of his acknowledgement. One day, Jaqen instructed Arya to drink water from Pool of Faces. Surprisingly, after drinking it, Arya's vision became clear again. She regained her sight. During an assassination assignment, Arya found her target to be a god person and couldn't go through with the killing. So, she decided to leave the House of Black and White with her needle. With Jaqen's approval, the wife chased her down. In a dark room, Arya turned the tables and killed the waif. When she returned to the House of Black and White, Jaqen revealed that she had truly become a no-one. Thank you all for watching this video, and if you like it and want to see more videos like this, please like it and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.